Good morning, everyone. So we are back at it with this bike. So first and foremost, obviously I'm waiting on a bunch of parts for this bike. I ordered them, but obviously there's like a 4 to 6 week wait time because everything is made to order. So I'm still waiting on the cage, the sub cage. I know my triple tree's already been shipped out. I'm still waiting on my clip-ons and a few various other things. I did, however, order new fairings for this bike. They are unpainted, so I'm not really worried about them being painted just yet, as I do have a theme. But we'll get into all of that stuff in a second, or towards the end of the video I'll get into that. And I know I didn't mention anything with the Supra, so I'll mention that as well as what's going on with this car and the little hiccup we hit. Today what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to eliminate this goofy ass thing. So basically this whole thing is one giant piece. So what I'm trying to do is cut it, I think, to about here, right about here or so. I'm gonna put this back. Oh shit. Anyway, so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to cut it. I may cut it down to right about there. I still want to retain the battery box. And I'll just have to figure out how to mount this or keep this mounted up. I do have a flip up plate bracket somewhere over there that I'm probably going to use. Probably just going to figure out how to make a mount for these and my voltage regulator, which is kind of easy because I'm just going to put some foam, put this metal bracket, put foam so it will eliminate any vibrations or whatever, and then I'm going to route it up underneath here and then put it and secure it right down to the piece of sheet metal, along with these. The tail light's going to be the tricky part. I'm not really worried about this, but that's kind of the planning phase. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. I know there are guys that did it, but they eliminated a lot of the stuff. We're going to take some measurements. I still got to go to Lowe's and pick up some sheet metal. So I got the piece out, as you see. I also got the other fairing on, the tail fairing. It's not like fully secured. I just kind of just mocked all the bolts up. As you can see, there is a slight gap, and that's where my sheet metal is gonna go. It's gonna come up, it's gonna come across. I wish I still had my tail light. I don't have it because I do want to run a tail light. It's probably gonna stop right here and come across. So I apologize, quick little update. I cut where I said I was going to cut, right up to this point. It's a little bit more, so I'd have to cut probably about there, but I think I'm actually going to leave it right here because there is a lip that sits right here, and that way once the sheet metal piece is in, it might flex this just slightly. These fuses right here, they will actually still mount in their retaining location, whatever that means. So I think like I said, I think I'm just gonna leave it here, and I'm gonna run to Lowe's real quick, and I'm going to get a big ass piece of sheet metal. I picked up this big ass 24 by 24 16 gauge, so it's extremely thick. I'm gonna go ahead and trace this out, mark it on here, trace it out, and then we'll get to cutting. I'm gonna mark this first, since this is going to end in a different spot. I have to mark it so I know exactly where I'm going to end when I'm tracing out my outline. I'm going to go ahead and trace this out, mark it on here, trace it out, and then we'll get to cutting.
Day 2.
Okay, so I scratched the whole idea of Sawzall and all these other tools and everything, and basically I just got a sanding disc, which this is pretty worn down already. I've been sanding this thing a lot. I really didn't film too much of me doing it because it's just kind of sanding then test fitting, sanding, test fitting. Just got a thinner sheet of metal as well. I still have a little more grinding to do and sanding, and I mean there's still little rough edges that I'll hit with my Dremel, but overall the fitment's coming out a little bit better than I thought it was gonna do. It's gonna kind of just sit in there. Obviously I gotta move it around so it fits fine. I also ordered LEDs. I'm gonna do 2 strips kind of coming up here for legal purposes, and what I'll do is I'll just drill a little hole in this and run a grommet, and then with the grommet have the wiring come through, and again everything, all this wiring right here is going to just kind of just sit on there. I'm going to get back to grinding, I'm going to get back to cutting, and I'll pick this up when I actually get this fitted a little bit nicer and I can start drilling the holes and securing it and then test fitting it on the bike. Okay, so it's pretty much mounted. The screws aren't tight yet, so there is some gaps and whatnot. Right now I'm working on the center support to support this when I put this up and down. I'm just going to obviously utilize the holes that are already there. I'm going to drill them out real quick. I'm going to drill the holes. I'm going to mount everything. I will try to have to figure out where I'm going to mount this to center it, and mark my holes real quick, and then once I mark those holes I can drill the bracket again and hopefully be able to mount that. So I got this bar in, and it's actually really sturdy. It holds this whole center section sturdy. Nothing's really tight, like I said, everything's hand tight. This will flip up just like that, boom. It's probably gonna be raised a little to about there. Main reason being is because once I mount the plate, that's going to kind of raise it a little bit higher up. Okay, so I took everything off. What I'm doing right now is I'm spraying it. Obviously I'm going to be spraying it black. Drill 2 more holes right there. That's for when I mount the actual LEDs. This wire is going to go up through a, I don't know if you're able to see it right there, the little grommet in there. So this wire is going to go up through that grommet, and it's going to tie into the tail lights, and then I'll probably zip tie everything down. So I'm going to finish spray painting this thing. I'm not going to put it onto this one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to order new fairings. I am going to have to cut into that plate again once I get my 12 o'clock bar. I did order fairings, so this video is not going to end with just this. I'm going to leave this for another day. I probably won't film me installing it or anything. I did order new fairings. I'm going to keep this tail fairing just in case that doesn't line up with the new fairings. New fairings should be here Wednesday-ish. 3 days, we'll say 3 days, because I don't know when this video is going to drop. Okay, so I know I said I wasn't going to end it with it just kind of just sitting there idle, but I'm not going to install it. I am waiting for my fairings like I said, and I'm probably going to spray the tail fairing. I might drop this one off to be sprayed like I said. I might just include me just kind of just putting this into the fairing, and once it's done, and I'll quickly go over the completed version of it. Oh, I apologize, this video's kind of been all over the place. I will show you something I did pick up. I did pick up these pro tapers because I'm still waiting on my clip-ons. I'm going to do kind of like an install on this anyway, because I have to drop this off at the powder coater. I know a lot of people, they go section by section and they'll do revealing and unboxing of the parts. I'm just going to show you. This is the Pro Taper to Evo. My clip-ons don't have the raised to clear these forks, so I put some washers and spacers in there. Not the safest or most ideal, so I'm going to look into getting the actual ones that will clear these forks just fine. One of the things I did want to show you guys, again, I've done this in the past with this turd over here, but what I do is I write down everything, whether it be a build or stuff that I have to do. I write it down and I don't erase it until I'm fully done, because so far I have the triple tree, I have the cage. This is basically the breakdown of all the parts that I'm going to be picking up. And as I pick them up, I'll install them. So I'm gonna try, I'm not promising you, but I'm going to try to do this bike in sections. So basically when I do the brakes, I'm going to do front brakes, rear handbrake, and then do the front master, the rear handbrake master, the foot brake, just kind of do all that, the clutch line, the clutch lever, yeah, clutch lever. So like I said, I'm waiting for some parts that I don't even know if they're being made yet. I'm sorry this video is kind of like mundane and it's kind of just this boring little makeshift thing that I made. Oh, quick update on this as well before I end the video. This car is kind of KIA right now. I have to grind on the front passenger caliper again because it's rubbing. We're also having TPS issues with it, so we're still trying to iron it out. Car does start, does run, does drive. I can drive it. It's just very minor things right now that's just causing a nuisance and it's slowing down. So stay tuned for this. This is going to be happening very, very soon. I will be taking this bike out because it's supposed to be like high 60s. But I hope you guys are going to continue to stay with me, like I keep saying, with the stunt build. I need all y'all to stay hungry, stay humble, stay motivated in all of your life's goals. Always remember, success never comes easy. You got to work your ass off for it. Your boy Machine here, and I will see you guys on the next one. Later.
Too many thoughts on my mind, I can't sleep at night, so I just keep writing. I don't need no help, I don't need opinions, so don't waste my time then. Killing the game and I gotta go ask anybody, they all heard about it. They know when the kid and he spitting it, know when he getting it, better not get in my way. Got this, I like do whatever I say, cause I could go put you on blast. People